Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and it feels like we've been waiting a long time, but we're finally talking about Fantastic Four First Steps. So, let's jump into it. I definitely did not botch that timing at all. Nope, that was that was perfect timing. I don't care what anyone says. So, like I was saying, we're talking about Fantastic Four First Steps. The third version of the Fantastic Four to hit theaters. Well, technically, this is like the fourth movie version of Fantastic Four, because there was that one that didn't really. We're not talking about that, but another version of Fantastic Four, but this time done by Marvel Studios, but not technically in the MCU, but also in ways. We'll get to that. Let's just, like I said, jump into it. So, what can I say about this movie? Let's just say, I thought it was fantastic.
Say that again?
Okay, but seriously, let's dive more into it. Here we go. And let's start off with that. This is not set on our main Earth of the MCU with all the other movies and TV shows that take place. Oh my goodness. Really? Really, people? Really? Really? My goodness. Just run me over. Stop it! Okay. Like I was saying, this is not set on Earth 616 or 199999, depending on who you ask. This is set on a different Earth, which I forget the number of, to be completely honest with you, but it will come back to me later. I didn't write it down. And that's not a spoiler. It's all the marketing, all true. That's how they're promoting it. This different world that's like retro, but also kind of futuristic, because we do got things like flying cars and TVs, but it's also very like 60s feeling. And it's really cool. First of all, they do a great job at creating this world, establishing this world. It feels like a really good, cool, established Fantastic Four world where the Fantastic Four are the only superheroes in this world, but but the world still feels lived in. I'm almost not diving into spoilers because there's some cool references to the comic books that I won't talk about here in case you want to catch them when you watch them. But it was really well done. And speaking on that, this movie does very much stand alone. You do not have to watch anything before this movie. You can, if you have never seen an MCU film, you can watch this movie and not be lost. There is no tie-ins from previous films. There's no homework that you need to do, which is kind of refreshing. This movie stands completely alone, so if you haven't seen other MCU films, or maybe you have seen some but not all, or maybe you're behind on them, you can skip to this one if you're that interested in it, because there's like very little connection, and I would say that is a good thing, especially for this film. Now, I do love me with connectivity, but I do think there's a problem when you have to do like a whole bunch of homework. So I do enjoy the fact that in this movie you can jump in not having seen anything from the MCU. You don't even have to see the previous Fantastic Four movies, in case you were wondering, which, I mean, it's a separate franchise, it's a reboot, but still. So that was just really cool, and it's a fun world to be in, which is also great. Moving on to our Fantastic Four themselves. First of all, this cast does a great job. I remember when it was such a big deal, like, who's going to be the Fantastic Four? And then we found out, and there was a bunch of everybody debating. I think all four members here do an amazing job. Like, these guys are fantastic.
Say that again?
As the Fantastic Four. So, Pedro Pascal does a great job as Mr. Fantastic. Vanessa Kirby, a great Sue Storm. Joseph Quinn, Eddie himself, an amazing Human Torch. And Ebon Moss Bennett, I feel like I'm saying his name wrong, is an amazing thing. And that's just our main four. The actors they got for, I forget her name. I forget the actress's name, but the lady playing Silver Surfer does a great job. The gender swap, by the way, is perfectly fine. I don't think there's a problem with it, especially because it is not the OG Silver Surfer. I'm not good with the Silver Surfer, either Silver Surfer's real name, but it's not the same character. It is actually a different character. They just both happen to have the same abilities. So, but that was well done. The guy who voices Galactus, I'm not gonna lie, I forget his name also, but awesome. Just this cool, menacing voice that fits him great. So this was really well done. The cast was just awesome. And speaking of Galactus, finally we get Galactus done right. Galactus is a character I wanted to see done right in live action for a very long time. That Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer back, I forget when it came out, that did Galactus as a cloud. What the heck was that? I wanted my bigger than the Earth, purple wearing Galactus. Although his suit could have been more purple in this movie, he was awesome. And they did I love how they did his scale. There's some epic shots with him because of how big he is. He could have been a bit bigger, honestly, but he also has the ability to change his size. So, you know, there's that. But like, awesome. Finally, Galactus is done right in live action. And this is coming from someone who doesn't hate those old movies, by the way. Just putting that out there. I don't hate those movies. I have fun with them. But finally, that's what they fumbled big time, was Galactus. And Galactus is done right in this movie, and I love it. Also, going back to the Fantastic Four, they're also like very likable. I almost forgot to mention, like, I really like these characters, and I cannot wait to see more of them. And I really hope they survive Doomsday and Secret Wars, just because I do want to see more of these people in their own solo films. And at least at this point in time, there aren't going to be any solo films in between Avengers films. Let's quickly talk about the tone of the movie because I think they did a great job with the tone of the movie, where it does have this serious tone because, well, we're dealing with the end of the world, the end of Earth and all life on Earth. That's what the stakes are. High stakes. If Fantastic Four fail, everyone on Earth dies. So obviously you can't just be cracking jokes every minute about, you know, the entire population of Earth dying. But it's not just like all dark and gloomy. They do incorporate humor, but they incorporate it when it's the best used. Stop running me over, people. My goodness. People don't know how to stop their cars today. Anyway, they were able to balance it well, where I was laughing out loud many times throughout this movie, but it never undercut the drama and the stakes and the heaviness of the end of the world.
Watch it, buddy.
So it has that perfect balance, which is something that I know has been a complaint about MCU movies recently, like Thor: Love and Thunder, where we're leaning way too much into the humor. This movie does it right. I think Thunderbolts also did it right, so I think we are getting back on track with that well-done tone, because Thunderbolts also did a great job at tackling some dark themes and heavy moments, while also being comedic, except for different reasons. That's just like dark characters going through intense times. This is the world's going to end if we don't stop Galactus. So different kinds of stakes and different kinds of tones, but still really well done. That was awesome. Also, quickly touching upon how they do the origin in this movie, because you probably already know, because they've already discussed it before the movie even came out, that this movie is not going to be an origin movie, and it's not. How they do the origin movie, I think, is really well, because we technically have seen the origin twice. We saw it in the first Fantastic Four, and I believe it was 2005, and then we saw it in Fan Four Stick in 2015. So we really didn't need to see the origin story again, and I think they did a really good job, where we do actually get where we do get a little bit of the origin story, enough so that if you don't know who the Fantastic Four is, you're all caught up and you understand how they got their powers. But it doesn't take up too much of the movie, where it's like, oh my goodness, come on already, let's move on with the main plot. So I think they handled that very well. I almost forgot to mention the score in this movie, and I don't know how, because the score in this movie is also great. Michael Giacchino does it again with his amazing music to this movie. It was awesome. It was fantastic. Sorry, I'm gonna use that word as many times as possible. So, yeah, but yeah, can't believe I almost forgot to mention that, because that score, great. Now, when it comes to like negatives on the film, I actually have almost none. The only two I really have is, one, there are some iffy moments of CGI. Now, the CGI in this movie is pretty good. Like, Silver Surfer looks amazing. Galactus looks amazing. I also almost forgot, I don't know if I pointed out, there's some great cinematography in this movie too, with some really epic shots of the Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Galactus, and stuff like that. So some good cinematography in here as well. But the CGI, while really good for some moments, like I said, Silver Surfer and Galactus, there's also some moments where the CGI is kind of iffy, and it's kind of like, ooh, that doesn't look the greatest. It's not really a spoiler because it's been in the trailers, but I can tell you that there is a CGI baby in here, and the baby at times can look kind of creepy. So it's like, oh, that could have been done a bit better. And there's also another negative I do have that I'm not going to tell you the details of because that would be spoilers, but I will tell you that there is something that happens in the third act that to me should have been set up closer to the middle when Galactus is introduced. And again, I'm not going to go into it here, but that thing that happens in the third act kind of felt like it undercut what we could have been doing, or not undercut because there are stakes to it, but I feel like it would have been much better if they set it up in the beginning or in the middle or something. I think it would have been much better if they did that. It kind of came out of nowhere. Not necessarily bad, but I think it could have been handled much better. But again, I can't talk much about that without spoilers. So, yeah. Alright, so let's talk about it. Should you see Fantastic Four in theaters? So here's what I would say. Similarly to like Superman, I guess, before Marvel, if you are a fan of the Fantastic Four, if you are a fan of Marvel, if you're a fan of comic books, or you just just have the money and time and want to have a good time at the movies, yes, go see this in theaters. You may have already by the time this review comes out too. Now, if you are just a casual Marvel fan and this movie didn't look very interesting to you, but you kind of want to check it out just to see if it truly is good, then I would say wait for streaming. But again, Marvel fan, Fantastic Four fan, comic book fan, watch this in theaters. And I mean, if you're a Fantastic Four fan, this is a must watch in theaters because they finally did Fantastic Four right, or at least at its best. Because again, I enjoyed the first two, not Fanforstic. Ugh. Although we did get a great meme out of it. But yeah. Hi, me from Editing Quick. I also just wanted to quickly point out that I also do think that Galactus, because of how big he is, his scale is best seen on the biggest screen possible, so that could also influence your decision on if you should see this in the theaters. If you want to see Galactus at his best because of how huge he is, definitely see us on the biggest screen possible. Okay, back to me reviewing the video.
Watch it, buddy.
So thank you guys so very much for watching this review. I hope if you like this video, please hit like. If you want to see more like this, I reviewed every MCU movie in the multiverse saga so far, and a bunch of other movie reviews, so please check those out. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it was fantastic. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, and stay fantastic.